Keep a fire burning red in a Georgia representing for Kams Tv. Big up Kidaki, Buxton massive. Hey Babylon boy, you going like Kams son. Red. Kams Tv, son. You burn this swine when no want you shine. The tree of life, them no want you climb, cause them heart no kind. Kams, I say them heart no kind.
Never joke, never joke, never joke. Oh, money, never money, never money, money, never money, money. Now know what you can even money, money, never money, never money, money, never money, money. You can keep, you can even money. When you been a corrupt in a bill tell me money. Now because your money done, you come with conniving money. When you had your pocket full in a bill tell me money. Now because your money done, you hustle for tell me money. Yes, money, never money, never money, money, never money, money. Now know what you conniving money. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. That's all the money that me walk for. A 2 pound note and a kill the piece. A 2 pound note and a kill the piece. A 2 pound note and a kill the piece. This is all the money that me walk for. I said money, neighbor, money, neighbor, money, money, neighbor, money, money. Now I don't want you can I be money.
Guyana and Guyanese, at home and abroad. Tune in to Guyanese Morning Time, hosted by Kadaki Amsterdam, where the sun always shines. Guyanese Morning Time, the people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. We rise up early morning watching Kams TV, where wisdom and knowledge, yes, it is the key. Exposing corruptions over land and sea, where the wicked politicians they try to trick me. Guyana is a land for everybody. With 6 races should live in harmony. Is one set of people getting aisle money. Is one set of people doing the thievery. Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. This is a program that you all can see, sharing your views and your integrity. Like it, comment and share it all around. Pass it to your neighbor, safe and sound. A sad situation going on in this town. The voice of the people is getting trampled down. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings, which has ordained me to sing. I sing Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, fooling the people. You promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. Stop fooling people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. people. Politicians. You are a part of the cycle. I say, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. They got Breakford, Bark and Mark Benchcop. David Hines and Kadaki Amsterdam. Sherrod Duncan, Nigel London. Normal Brown and Gavin Matthews. Big up Paslow, Poor People Governor. Simona Brooms, Robin Simpson. Hampton Green and Winston Jordan. And yes, we can go right on and on. Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again.
The relatives and friends of young Wyndham Bacchus, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of our in Boston, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of Peter Headley, they deserve justice.
And so when we say that Guyana is an apartheid state, we have the evidence to show.
Keep a fire burning red in a Georgia representing of a Kams Tv. Big up Kidaki, Buxton massive. Hey Babylon boy, you go on like you know like Kams son. Red. Kams Tv son. You burn this swine when no want you shine. The tree of life, them no want you climb, cause them heart no kind. Kams I say them heart no kind. Buxton massive. Kidaki. Read that. Oh, one more. Hold on, one more. Keep a fire burning red, Georgia representing of a Kams Tv son. Red.
It is 7 hours 25. I am not late. Why y'all always saying this thing? What time am I supposed to be here? I'm always here when I'm supposed to be here. Chill, no, man. Y'all take a chill pill. Somebody needs to turn on that device or turn it off. Yes, morning, y'all. Morning, welcome to the program. It's 7:25 on the 20th day of March in the year 2023. I'm your host, Kidaki Amsterdam, the Buxtonian. Welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. Share the life. Why we ain't at 10,000 yet? Oh, shoots, man. What y'all doing, really? Anyhow, thank you for letting me into your spaces once more. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your support. This morning we're going to talk some things, and we got surprises for you. We got a big terrorist in the house. You know? We got a big terrorist in the house. Morning. Listen, if terrorism look like this, I like terrorism. I would embrace terrorism every day of the year. Good morning, Robin Simon. Welcome to Buxtonian Morning Time. What you doing? Yeah, I like throw low blows. I got for them. You are muted, Robin. Kindly unmute your microphone.
Good morning, my brother Kadaki. Thank you for that greeting.
How you do?
Well in spirit, mind, body, and soul. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me, brother Kadaki. How are you?
I got myself, you know. It's good. Something ain't look right. I getting caught. Oh, I know it's all. It's nice to hear you say you are well in spirit, mind, body, and soul. You know what? Why is it so important that you would have said that? Because I know that they were hoping to break your spirit. They were hoping to break your spirit.
They are still trying.
Tell themselves, listen, when we dig licks for robbing and duck and run. Right? But let them realize that what was intended to poison has simply strengthened. And I know your resolve to fight the wickedness of this government is further strengthened. Thank you for your courage.
Yes. Thank you so much for your strength as well. And your prayers and your hugs. Thank you. Thank you so much for putting me on the spot. Thank you.
You know they say what they say if you want to know what is fine metal or something like that, you gotta put it through the harshest of conditions. Yeah, so on the spot is where many of us will be able to stay there.
I think you know what? It seems as though I love being put under stiff conditions. But you know what, my brother, I'm going to say before we go any further, I'm going to say to each and every one of you out there, all my brothers and sisters, youths, boy, girl, seniors, you know, God never gave us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. And power comes with strength, unity, what we need right now. Love, which comes with togetherness, peace, and prosperity. And self-control, I am going to take it with respect for ourselves and for others. And we need that right now. We need all of that, those three ingredients, those few ingredients that are listed. Black people, we need that right now. And then if we have that, especially togetherness and unity, then we can open our arms and embrace the other races, because right now we just don't know who to trust. So as Black people, we have to start working on ourselves. Brother Kadaki, I must say, I'm so in love with the WPA's energy and the strength that they're pushing. It's contagious. And I came out from the penitence with added strength. So with a combination of all these strengths that we have, we are still calling for more. We need that togetherness and unity. We need it. And I'm going to say that we are going to continue to fight. We're going to fight, a good fight with all our might, because our foreparents did it for us, and we have to do it now for our children. So I must say thank you again for having me this morning and last night as well.
Old people say if you're good for dinner, you're good for breakfast. Anyway.
Thank you.
You know, they say, I'm always with my old people saying, but Robin, on a serious note.
And it's a good thing.
You are a shining example of what it means to be in the struggle and have that ancestral spirit to struggle and not back down. I've seen people locked up for a few hours and they never went back in the street to protest. You've been there for 72 hours, and as soon as you got released, you were back in the fight. I raise my fist to you. I looted.
Struggle to provide meals, although they are working. It bothers me, Brother Kadaki.
But how?
And I also, those are the persons they are paying attention to.
Because I'm not sure that people hear what you're saying, you know. Right? I'm not sure that people hear what you're saying. What you're really talking about in this oil economy, this Ghana country, this oil economy, you're talking about parents, children going without despite their parents are working? No. You're kidding.
Yes, and yes, I have experience. I know what I am saying. I am not talking because I want to talk. I am on the road. I am on the ground. I am a people's person. I have been helping children and families. I've been reaching out to people most of my life. And when I was living in the United States, I can tell you that, and my family can tell you as well, that when I work, my salary always goes towards development or assisting someone. That is what it is. And now I'm here in Guyana. It hasn't changed. It really hasn't changed. I can tell you, a parent, someone call and ask for assistance, I'm giving it to them. And that's why I am raising funds. And I'm looking forward for us to continue to work together. It don't matter because I'm a dead-born PNC and you're WPA. I am you, and you, I am you, and I are one. We are together. We are on the same fight. We're on the same journey, the same struggle. What you want, I want. What you need, I need for our people. I am out there, my brother, and I can tell you every day. If it's not $1,000, it's a $500, it's a $1,500. You know, somebody needs assistance. Food is food, basic food. The things that the parents are packing in their children's lunch packs to send them off to school because that is all they can afford. And we have so much wealth in this country.
You know,
and this goes to all the race, but Black people experience it more, worse.
I want to extend that statement you made, that you're born and bred PNC and I am WP, but we are working for the same thing. I want to say to those who are viewing this morning, that the same goes out to each and every citizen of this country, regardless of which political party you represent. We should all be working for the same thing, and that is fairness, equity, and good governance. That is what we should be working for. A lot of people see us when we are out there and we're talking about the discrimination that is meted out to Guyanese by the PPP. They label us racist because we address the concerns of the greater number of people who are being oppressed. And it so happens that the greater number of people being oppressed in this society look like you and I. But anybody with a fair mind, I'm encouraging every citizen of this country, sit back, open your eyes, and really examine the issues that we raise and see if we are really and truly racist. Because the racism is really coming from the PPP. And this morning I want us to talk about something in terms of the racism coming from the PPP. I mentioned last week that science fair that they had. And Golden Grove Primary School did exceptionally well. The ministry featured them on their page. I think they were awarded second. But they were awarded second to publications and so on, they were totally removed. It's as if they never exist. The trophy that they were given for second place was smaller. Right? Than the trophy that was given to third place and so on and so forth. And you know what is blatant there? The people who were favored, or the schools that were favored, were schools from Indo-Guyanese community, and all or most who were present were saying, listen, these schools do not deserve the placement that they were given. Right?
Exactly.
That's racism for me. And it is coming from people who are responsible, not only for policies, but for educational policies in this country.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And let me add another experience to that. Let me add another little story to that, because I know some of you are not on my page to follow certain things, my brother. A few days ago, today is Monday, so maybe it was Thursday or Friday, whichever day was the 27th death anniversary for Cheddy Jagan. I can remember when it was Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham's 100th birthday celebration. The Burnham Foundation, they had they were celebrating his 100th birthday, and they had the symposium and all these little things that they had prepared, where they invited the schools, some of the schools in Georgetown, and they were denied because they said it was a clash with the Mashramani celebration. We know that this is test season. We all know that Easter is coming up, and this is test season in Guyana. Queen's College, a secondary school in Georgetown, they were doing tests. It's test season. And they were ordered to stop all testing. Every child and teacher must report to the auditorium to celebrate, to be a part of a program planned for Dr. Cheddy Jagan 27th death anniversary. Burnham, our leader, PNC, Guyana's, he contributed to Guyana, same as Jagan. All right? They were founders. All right? Two great men. No problem. But you're denying our children to know more about Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham, who was a president, because he's black, and I'm going to say that, and because he's not PPP, he is PNC, all right? But you're pushing your children. The children must learn about Cheddy. So Burnham didn't do nothing. I guess Burnham is a hungry belly dog, So he does not need recognition. The children of Guyana should not know anything about him. Why? And you're saying that that's not racism? That is racism. Even down to the grave, they're taking it that far.
You know, this is an issue I discussed on my program previously. Even as we speak, I am actually trying to find a letter. Because I know there's a letter that I received that I have in my somewhere, where the ministry, the chief education officer, as a matter of fact, wrote to Queen's College and said we are not granting permission for these children to attend the photo exhibition hosted by, I think, the Congress of Women. Women Congress or Congress of Women of the PNC to commemorate the centenary, the 100th birth anniversary of Forbes Burnham. Good.
Yes.
I have the letter here. Let me see. Let me see if I can read it. From Chief Education Officer, this was dated the 17th of February. To regional education officers from region 1 to 10 and the principal education officer. So while I was saying it's Queen's College, it's not only Queen's College, it's across the country. Every region. The Ministry of Education has observed that some schools are conducting educational tours to locations and places that do not contribute to better student outcomes. With immediate effect, the principal education officer and all regional officers must implement the following. Withdraw all permissions granted for visits and tours to places outside the accepted and usual tour destinations. If you have any doubt about what those places may be, please contact the office of the Chief Education Officer by email. For each permission granted henceforth, you are to state in writing that, quote, any amendment to the approved list of places to be visited will result in disciplinary action being recommended against the head teacher and all teachers on the school tour, end quote. Please note, the ministry will not accept any excuse for a breach of the directive such as, quote, I didn't know, end quote. If you have already granted written permission for a tour that is yet to be conducted, you are to immediately do an addendum so that permission and ensure it is delivered and signed by their teacher. That came out of the office of the Chief Education Officer. Why? Because there was already an application for the children to apply to attend. Here is a letter dated February 6th that was sent from the National Congress of Women. Reference, commemoration of the 100th birth anniversary of the first executive president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, the late Lynette Forbes Sampson Burnham. The 100th birth anniversary of the late Burnham is on 20th February 2023. The National Congress of Women will be hosting an exhibition displaying the work and life of the late Mr. Burnham at the organization's headquarters, 44 Public Road, Kitty. The dates for the exhibition are 20th and 21st February 2023, commencing at 10 hours and concluding at 17 hours on both days. We therefore take the opportunity to invite the students of the following schools, and schools were listed. Queen's College responded on the 16th to say what? I hereby acknowledge receipt of your letter of invitation for teachers and students of the college to participate and visit the exhibition honoring the first executive president of Guyana. Teachers and students will attend, not may attend, will attend this exhibition for the knowledge of our first executive president will surely be enhanced. To enable our attendance, however, I'm asking that this request be made to the Ministry of Education. The officers there will then grant permission for us to attend. Right? That response was sent on the 16th to the letter that was sent on the 6th. And on the 17th, the Chief Education Officer, Saddam Hussein, handpicked by Freedom House, issued that directive. In other words, it is plain, it is blatant, that these people did not want the students of Queen's College to visit the exhibition to learn more about the first executive president of this country, number one. Number two, a product of Queen's College. A product of Queen's College. Number three, a founding member of the very PPP party that is preventing them from doing it. But let's forget the founding of the PPP and so on. This is a matter of honoring your national leaders. This is a national matter. And the PPP is so divisive and wicked. And I'm adding it this one here, racist. That they could not see past the color of the skin of Chedi Jagan. I mean, Forbes Burnham, to allow these children to attend that exhibition where they would have learned so much, not only about Forbes Burnham, but about the history of this country. But what happens a few weeks after? Class. Robin.
Yes.
The mic is yours, sis.
Racism is taught when they are at home and they have to hear all these things that the seniors talking about black people, especially our East Indian children. When they have to hear all of these things, what are you doing? You are preparing them for tomorrow. You are preparing them for tomorrow. And I'm going to say this again, my brother. Our color, and I'm saying this to you, to the entire of Guyana, all over the Guyana, Guyanese, all over the world. Do not allow the color of your skin to choose what we do tomorrow. Politics already has a part of it. Politics is already playing a part in our daily lives. So we are all politicians. Everybody that wants to say, oh, I'm not getting into politics, your everyday life is politics. The government of the day decides for you. And you have a right to say what you want and what you need. And it is our right to say that enough is enough. It is our right to say that we're not accepting anymore. It is our right to say that, listen, we're going to change you all. We need you all out of there. So every mother's boy and girl, and to you mothers out there, you need to start talking to your kids about voting, these young people. You need to start talking to your kids about voting. You all need to start preparing your minds to start voting. We have local government coming up, and we have the regular elections coming up. We have to start putting the work out there, my brother, because we got to change this government. They got to go at all costs. Because this thing ain't right. This thing is not right. Thing no go so. It's not regular. Our children now are being affected. They're bringing the children now into this racism.
You know, talking about teaching our children. Listen. Talking about teaching our children. When you look in the school system, I spoke about this ethnic study that they're doing in school because that's what I call it. There's a requirement now for schools to submit to the ministry the ethnic composition of their staff. How many of this ethnic group and that ethnic group and so on you have on staff. I am saying that we're going to get serious segregation in our school system when this survey is finished. It might not be as openly segregated as people will look for in that Indians can go to that school and blacks can go to that school, but there will be a segregation of resources. I am positing it, and I'm sitting and I'm watching with bated breath. I hope I don't dead. Right? Because the PPP is known for being wicked and vindictive. They're known for being wicked and vindictive. And so, like you rightly say, Robin, we have to sit our children down and teach. And I'm not saying we have to teach hatred. We have to teach history. Our children must understand, we have to teach them so that they can understand the struggles. They can understand what they're up against. And so nobody will come and pull wool over their eyes. The PPP, I understand, has a claim now. All the infrastructural works in this country were achieved under PPP. Right? So there was nothing like a PNC government from whenever to 1992. Nothing. And they did nothing. Yet, the long-standing infrastructure were all completed under that government. I'm not here to defend Foxborn. I'm not here to defend the PNC. I'm here to talk about policies and wickedness and what we are putting in the minds of our children. You know, while I talk about that, let me stick a pin and shout out to Sister Paulette Charles and her family. And I'm using that avenue to get to Professor Dr. Corwin Charles. He's a proud Buxtonian son. Yes, he got Buxton blood. He's from Annie Daniel's generation. But look where he is today. Where he is today. He's leading in education on other shores where we talk about racism and bigotry and all kinds of things. But you know what? He's allowed to shine, and people are allowed to shine. While here, right where he neighbor Stringberry, and many others, many of us, our neighbor Stringberry right here. But this wicked and vindictive government doesn't give anybody a chance to shine. What they prefer to do is oppress people, because all they know is oppression. Right? And we have to teach our children. We have to show them the history, the struggle, how we overcame. You see this thing they call culture day in school? You see this thing called culture day in school? Every African child could come home and tell you he's asked to wear a sari, or he's asked to wear some other people's cultural clothing. But he's never asked to wear his own cultural clothing. This is a psychological issue. Why must I have to emulate somebody else? Put somebody else's culture on display and not mine. And we have to sit our children down and let them understand. First, Robin said it earlier, you gotta love yourself before you love anybody else. And when the Afro-Guyanese community really sit and get its act together by showing self-love, then we could consider anybody else.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Nobody is considering us.
We have to love ourselves.
Nobody is considering
We have to respect ourselves. We have to respect ourselves because people are disrespecting us.
You know, Robin, when Takumo Ogonse said, when Takumo Ogonse spoke, a lot of people came out, and when Rwanda spoke to Rwanda Lane, let me put the two together. A lot of people came out of the woodwork to say all manner of things. Right?
Because they're done.
Head of the armed forces or joint services, whoever best, said the army is apolitical. And he is not going to, he's basically condemning ethnic strife or something to that extent. He's not going to sit down and watch it happen and so on. The very apolitical chief of staff, just this weekend, allowed ranks of the Guyana Defense Force to participate in a Chedi Jagan Memorial Football competition.
Was that done for our great leader for Samson Burnham?
They're not. The very head of the armed force, head of the Guyanese Defense Force, walks around with a t-shirt marks One Guyana, a political slogan. The very head of the Guyanese Defense Force is member of and leading member of IDC with Clifton Kings and the likes of Men on a Mission, a quasi-political organization. Talk to this impartiality for me. Talk to this a political construct in the mind of this brother. Talk to it for me. How do you view the utterances of these brothers, these representatives of our important institutions, as against their actions?
Plain and straight. Simple, my brother. They don't have a choice. They do not have a mind of their own.
No, there's a difference. Let me interrupt you there. Having a mind of your own and having a choice is two different things.
Exactly.
So is it they don't have a mind of their own, or they are exercising?
They don't have a mind of their own because they have to listen to or they have to be ordered. People are going to tell them what to do, and they're going to say, well, okay, when they can say, no, I am not going to do that. They go with the words. They say if somebody tells them to jump, they're going to jump. But when I say they do not have a choice, what I'm saying is that you either do it or you out of a job. You can't enjoy the oil money. You can't eat your fancy food. Your children can't go to the best schools. You can't drive the fancy cars. The PPP government is going to find something or some way to silence you. That is what it is. So they have their stooge, their slaves, modern day slaves, old slaves. I am sorry to say it, but I'm going to say it because you can say, listen, this is not right and I'm not going to do it. And put your story out there and let the world know what is happening. And I am quite sure that the world is going to stand up and fight for you because you're standing for the truth. I'm not doing this. I am not saying this. I am not going there. I'm not doing that. Come on now. Nobody is in the right mindset. Should allow we should not allow no one to silence us or allow no one to keep us from speaking the truth. We are not a people that you can play with. Don't mess with African people. Don't mess with black people. Listen, we don't need a doctorate to get by in this world, you know. We have it, logical thinking. It's called logical thinking. We can adjust to any situation. You all don't get things twisted. Don't mess with black people.
You know what?
Black people adjust to any situation. And I am saying that if something is not right, it is not right.
You know what frets me? What bothers me? And it came to mind when you said that these head of institutions and so on just take an instruction and act in it. All of these people, or most of these people in these positions, are constitutional officers. They're protected by the Constitution. And all they have to do is stick to the Constitution to get their duties done and done correctly. But instead, they choose what? Political sides. They choose to be political servants. Right? At best, for example, if Best says, well, you know, this is how I interpret the role of the army, and it's supported by the Constitution, then citizens don't have to be afraid of repression from the state aided by the army. Because the army is going to do the right thing. As Takuma Ogonse said, they will turn the guns in the right direction. Likewise, the police.
They don't want to hear those words.
Right. But these folks sit there forget that they're constitutional officers and become political lackeys. David Hines says we must remind them we love them. We love them. There's no doubt that we love them. But we expect more from them. We expect more from them. And so every morning and so on, they can get some tough love, at least from me. I don't know about anyone else. They can get. Listen, a child missing a day or two at school is not going to. Your child, to go and tour to see a Ferrari. We could see what a Ferrari looks like. That's your place. We have to pay very keen attention to when the school says it's going on tour. Where is it going on tour? What are the benefits of these tours? If my child can't go to a Forbes Burnham 100th anniversary exhibition to learn about the history,
you're not going anywhere.
They ain't going to know Chedi Jagan commemoration even in the auditorium.
Yes.
They ain't going to see no Ferrari even if it been on the square of the revolution. Like I'm saying, like Robin is saying, self-love and socialization has a whole lot to do with it. And we have to be more vigilant about how the education system is being used to condition the minds of our children. Good? Please and thanks. Let us talk about some other things, Robin.
Yes.
The WP has been up and down this coast hosting meetings. I think it's about 5 meetings so far, you know. And
I was only privileged to attend one because some of them I was locked away. I was on vacation.
Very well. We were praying for you, and we were planning on what to do next. You know, they don't like to see this kind of unity because you're a PNC woman, man, and Kiraki is a WP, and so on. They want to see the.
I'm WPA too.
Good.
I am WPA too.
We can be.
I am WPA
We can be
too.
what we want to be.
Exactly.
Right? Good. Now, all this furore, all this uproar about what the WPA is saying on the campaign and so on, and they're trying to steal people from the PNC, and they're trying to put Aubrey Norton under pressure. I think, where's the significance in your mind, this kind of unity that we are exhibiting right now?
Right now, we're separated, my brother. We are separated. And those of us who are trying to work for a change, they're even trying to pull us apart. But if it takes strong-minded people like you and I to constantly remind them that this is not about them, it is about the children of tomorrow. It is about the comfort for our children. It is about oneness, togetherness, the strength. Then we have to do it. And harsh words are going to come out. And we're going to turn up in places that we're not welcomed. But we are going to do it. Let them try to do all they want to do. At the end of the day, they're affecting themselves. They should not be allowed to affect the party, be it WPA or be it PNC. And if it is the fact, and I'm going to say it, if it is that they are trying to do all of these undermining and all of this nonsense that is happening, then they're not thinking about the future of our children. This is not Kadaki running for president because Kadaki wants money in his pocket. Dr. Hines running for president because Dr. Hines wants money in his pocket. Or Aubrey Norton running for president because Aubrey Norton wants money. Or people are hooligans or people are they're racist. This fight is about tomorrow, not today. We have to start putting things in place today for tomorrow. And if people are going to sit down and try to show the world that we're segregated as a people, what exactly are we telling our people? What are we telling those persons who are looking up to us? What are we telling them? We're telling them that, you know what? The house is divided. We ain't gonna go there. We can't. Let me just go over to PPP. Because PPP gonna just give you a little money. And, you know, we gonna maintain whatever little we got, and we're gonna try and make it work. But with unity and strength, we have to stop thinking about being we have to stop thinking about power, want to have power and position, and start thinking about those people out there who needs us. We have to start thinking about position and who should be and who shouldn't be, and start thinking about the people out there who looking up to us, especially our black people, because you all know we air short, we memory and tal. Some of us, we just forget things quickly and we move on and forget. But this struggle is real, and if people are not on board with this struggle, then you all just step aside and let the people who want to see a change fight peacefully for that change.
Is there any such
because
go ahead.
Because at the end of the day, my brother, we are going home to our Maker. What are we leaving for our children? What are we leaving for our children? So those of us who can come together and let our voices be heard and love upon each other, let's do it. If they can't beat us, they will have to join us any which way, you like it or not.
I like that statement. Let's do it together. I got a challenge here. Let's do it together. You know what? I'm serious. You know, I am the day of protest, man. We have to organize a day of protest in the East Coast.
Well, tomorrow...
yes, go ahead. Tell me about tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we are, myself, the brothers who were arrested for act of terrorism charge, placed before the court. Tomorrow, we are going out there to start sounding the voice. Tomorrow, there are different types of protests. And tomorrow, we are doing our first silent protest. We will be assembling at Golden Grove morning at 6 o'clock, my brother. And I'm asking...
At 6 in the morning?
6 in the morning. I am asking all sound-minded and right-minded leaders who really understand the struggle and who, for the unity of our people, the giving our people the strength to join us. We are walking to Pleasance because we were trying to go down to Georgetown, but the complications with all of these, whatever, we planned it too late. But we're going to do it. But we're walking to Pleasance Market from Golden Grove to Pleasance Market. Even if it's two of us, my brother, we are going. Even if it's me alone, I am going to do it. Because at the end of the day, truth must be told. When you see it, you hear it, it's time to act on it. And it is time to act on it. And we're acting on it. We are having a peaceful walk. We are prepared for any element that is going to try to use our walk to cause any level of corruption. We are prepared for them. Tomorrow morning, we are starting because we were accused of things that it's a serious charge, act of terrorism. My brothers, my 10 brothers, some of them don't even they're not working. They lost their jobs. iPad came down on one of my brother the other day. iPad, even to iPad picking up this racism thing. People can't do their thing. They can't live. This racism, this terrorism thing, people can't live their normal lives.
You know, I said
because what? Because what? Because what? Because they cried. We joined a fight to cry for the justice of Quindon Bacchus, who was murdered, who the Guyana police force made a martyr. We cried for him. We joined a struggle to cry for this young man, whom the Guyana police force made a martyr. He was murdered. And today we are being charged for act of terrorism towards the people of Monrepo, when we never left Golden Grove Adlington District. But let's leave that. That's our cases in the court. And let's leave that. We have all spent our 72 hours. We've all experienced some good police officers. The elements that we find and we have experienced that is within the Guyana police force. Don't worry, God got its hands on them as well. We're not worried about them. Y'all time coming when God is going to touch down in this country, on this land. And we have decided that we are going to put it out there. As you see, I'm not a terrorist. I am not a terrorist. I am not. My brother's not terrorists. So we are taking the streets tomorrow and we're going to stand up for everything. Everything that is affecting Black people. Everything that is affecting every other race, whether y'all like it or not. The East Indian race, I know all the other races, they are experiencing victimization as well. But they cannot come out and talk. They cannot say anything. They are struggling just like us. But right now, Black people feeling it more. So I am talking to my Black brothers and sisters. Get up tomorrow.
Let's get some.
Join us.
Let's get some.
And we'll take it from there.
Let's get some specific details. Before I ask you these specific details, let me say this thing. Everybody is suffering, like you rightly said. But I don't believe people can't. People choose not to speak. I don't believe people can't join the struggle. People choose not to join the struggle. Yes, actions have consequences. We must understand that. Right? The consequences, and I've been speaking about the consequences of these charges for terrorism. I said you, for example, you travel often to the US. I don't know if you're a citizen or not. I'm not asking you to declare that. But with a terrorism charge, likely your travels will be affected. The young men who have been charged with terrorist acts of terrorism, their job, their possibilities to employment will be affected. You're already saying that some of them have been dismissed from their jobs, and IPED has come down on one of them.
Yes, IPED.
Let's talk about the dismissals first. Let's talk about the dismissal. Who was dismissed? Why? I'm
not gonna because
no,
of the fact, you know, I ain't calling, but a popular security firm dismissed one of my brothers because of what they saw. They deemed him terrorist, and he cannot work with them because he has to carry a firearm. So they let him go. They did not even say, let me suspend you until, or whatever, until the case. So that's it. He's currently doing minor jobs here and there. Another brother lost a little contract he had. He's currently doing minor job here and there. They're walking on the road and people are you know.
This contract was with a state agency? Was it with a government agency?
Yeah.
And some people, I want you to understand. I really want you to understand. And let me be fair. I'll tell you this.
Put them somewhere else.
And so the state itself has placed some employees in some difficult positions, if I can call it that, to choose to employ or not employ these young men. Because if you employ them, it appears as though it's an act of defiance against the state. Knowing the wickedness of the PPP, naturally the employers might expect that people will go after. Punish those who dare to say we will stand up for justice in this society. Let's talk about iPad.
Hey.
I mean, iPad just withdraw the service if you owe them and so on, and just put you under pressure for the money and so.
This is not pressure for money.
That's what I want to know. Tell us about iPad and this young man.
Let me tell you. My brother bought a car through iPad. Got into an accident. And the car is currently at the workshop. All right? That is his daily bread. Because taxi. So what happened is that he parked his car. The father of Quindon Bacchus is his friend. So he joined the cry for justice for Quindon Bacchus. He got into an accident after the fact. Now he's charged. The car is there. $300,000 to fix this car. The insurance gave him a check. He had to take the check to iPad at, is that Lusignan?
Yes, Lusignan area.
He had to take the check to iPad. iPad was supposed to give him the money, although he is paying iPad on terms. He paid in advance for a couple of months. So he's still paying iPad, although his car was down. So it's not payment, right? He gave them the check. They were supposed to change this check to give back this young man for him to
fix the car.
Take it to the mechanic to get the car fixed. The very day he was released on bail from court, the next morning, he came to me to let me know, sis, I got this check. I am going now to iPad because we've decided that as a terrorist crew and as a terrorist group, let's always keep in contact with each other, what we're about, where we're going, so that we can start being on the lookout for each other. All right? That is our strength there amongst us. So he said to me, I'm going to iPad, take this money in and whatever. He came back to me 1 week later, sis, iPad got me back and forth. But I'm going to be meeting with them on Friday, which is like 2 Fridays ago. When he got there, the East Indian, maybe he's a loan officer or he is responsible for whatever, sat him down on the chair, turned the computer screen to him and asked him, is this you? And he told me, he said, sis, it was like an all new interrogation because of this terrorist charge. iPad decided this young man is going to tell my brother that he has to wait now. When he left there, he explained the situation regarding the protest and everything. He had to meet them back on Monday. When he got there on Monday, he has to wait on directives. He is waiting for a decision. He had a balance of $300,000 for iPad. So he told them, listen, give me back my transport, take your balance. They even took out up to the interest that he's supposed to pay until he would have paid off for the car. They took out the interest. All because of this terrorist thing and this racism in this country. Then they're going to tell him that he has to wait 8 weeks for his transport. Listen, my brother, and I'm going to say this again. If our black people in this country do not wake up, I do not know when they're going to wake up. I don't know when. And I am praying God every day that God just wake them up. Don't wait for situations to happen to you for you to become wise and for you to smell the coffee. Don't wait for something to come to your doorstep for you to understand what is happening out there. It is serious, guys. We are in trouble. Pretty soon, there will be no black people in Guyana if we continue, because they are trying to cut us down. They are trying to cut us down at all levels. And we have to say enough is enough. And I am saying enough is enough. Yes.
Now that we are aware of what iPad has done to this young man, you know, all kinds of things.
And the car is still sitting there. That is his daily bread. When his back is against the wall and he turns to me, you think I can let him go without saying, my brother, how are the children doing? Are they eating? That is why we've been asking for contributions, is for situations like this. Do you think I can sit down and see my brother, and he is not pure Afro-Guyanese? He is not pure Afro-Guyanese. He voted PPP. He rallied for PPP. He stand with PPP. His wife went and asked for his assistance. How? Where? When? When can I turn my back on my people? These are my people. They are our people, Brother Kadaki. It is more serious than just victimization at workplace because your PNC or your WPA or whatever. It is more serious than this. It is way above. It is way above. Now it is affecting our children. Now my brother car is there. $300,000. They give him something when they don't take out the interest, $100 and something thousand, and then he had loans that he had taken. He had to pay back loans because he had to survive. He had to survive.
You know, this is where I call on our people, our community, African Guyanese community, right, thinking Guyanese to step forward, especially the legal-minded. Because the brother being on a protest has nothing to do with a contractual arrangement that he has with iPad. He has been meeting his contractual financial deadlines with iPad. And so this is blatant. Again, let's call it for what it is. It's racism. It is a clique. The PPP, their friends and favorites. These are the enablers of PPP wickedness. Because here what had happened, the loan officer had to wait for a directive. Listen, the loan officer might be the face of the racists and the oppressors, but they are behind the operation.
He is. He right? is. He is. He is.
And so people
my brother, note. He is.
Take note.
But can we sit down, cross our legs, have a cup of tea? I know that I ain't taking on people burden and their worries. I got my burdens of my own. We love to say that. But come now, when them same troubles come to you, footstep onto your door, because when rain falls, it don't fall on one man's house top. You would need the same support. You will need somebody there. And my brother said he's not taking nobody to court. You know what he said? He said, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to let the world know how evil the PPC government is. And my darling, guess who is going to be standing behind him? All of us.
All of us. Indeed, all of us. Tomorrow morning, assembly time is 6 o'clock at Golden Grove Market Square. What time are you moving off?
My dear, I am a person that goes with the Spirit of God. When God tells me move, I move.
Okay, but we're assembling at 6.
We're assembling at 6.
So folks, please go tomorrow morning. Assembly time is at 6 o'clock at Golden Grove Market. It's a march, a peaceful walk from Golden Grove to Pleasance to highlight, first and foremost, we are not terrorists. And secondly, it's the International Day Against Racial Discrimination.
Yes, it is.
Right? And so it is also going to be used to highlight the racist discriminatory practices of this ruling party. So join Robin, join us from Golden Grove. Those of you who can't make it to Golden
Guyana and Guyanese, at home and abroad. Tune in to Guyanese Morning Time, hosted by Kadaki Amsterdam, where the sun always shines. Guyanese Morning Time, the people call it Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people call it Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. We rise up early morning watching Kams Tv, where wisdom and knowledge, yes, it is the key. Exposing corruptions over land and sea, where the wicked politicians they try to trick me. Guyana is a land for everybody. With 6 races should live in harmony. Is one set of people getting oil money. Is one set of people doing the thievery. Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. This is a program that you all can see, sharing your views and your integrity. Like it, comment and share it all around. Pass it to your neighbor, safe and sound. A sad situation going on in this town. The voice of the people is getting trampled down. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings, which has ordained me to sing. I sing Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. Stop fooling the people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. Stop fooling people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. I say Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. They got Brickford, Bork and Mark Benchcop. David Hines and Kadaki Amsterdam. Sherrod Duncan, Nigel London. Normal Brown and Gavin Matthews. Big up Paslow, Port People Governor. Simona Brooms, Robin Simpson. Hampton Green and Winston Jordan. And yes, we can go right on and on. Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again.
The relatives and friends of young Wyndham Bacchus, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of our in Boston, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives, and friends of Peter Headley, they deserve justice.
And so when we say that Guyana is an apartheid state, we have the evidence to show.
Hey neighbor, morning. Morning neighbor, morning. I'm not like me conniving morning. Good morning, welcome to another program of Buxtonian Guyanese Morning Time. It is now 7 hours 29 on the 21st day of March in the year 2023. How was you yesterday? How you passed your day yesterday? You had a good day? You make some money? Money, 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 money! Did you make some money? Or did you pay attention to what government, this ruling party in government, is doing with your money? How was work? What did you achieve? What were you able to achieve? Did you achieve set goals? You rest good last night? I hope you had a good night's sleep. Because sometimes we don't get a good night's sleep. And so we wake up all grumpy in the morning. And we take it out to everybody else who is responsible for us not sleeping. So I hope you had a good night's rest. And you are reinvigorated. You're energized to face the challenges of today. The challenges will remain. Or there will always be challenges. But challenges can change. They're dynamic, you know. When you confront one challenge and you overcome it, another one can arise. That's progress. But if every day you wake and you see the same challenge, you know that there's no progress. For example, why in this day and age we're still getting blackouts, unscheduled blackouts? Well, they're not unscheduled. Let me tell you what I learned. I understand that the government of Guyana, the ruling party, owes Wartsila a lot of money. And so Wartsila has been threatening to shut down the generating plants. And so, for example, when we had the last blackout, was it Friday, I think, while I was on program with you guys? Wartsila is sending a signal. Says not failure of this and failure of that. My information tells me that this ruling party owes Wartsila. And so the company is threatening to shut down the generating plants. Can you imagine? Right? And when you talk about quality of governance, on a thing like electricity supply, I will always reflect. How is it the coalition was able to keep those generators running for the majority of the times? With less resources that the PPP has now. How is it? Blackout has almost become a thing of the past under the coalition government. But we still sit back and say the coalition government didn't do nothing. And they were poor managers and so on. Yes, they were stuck up. A lot of them were stuck up. But that is when we look at them from an individual basis. Individualism is what destroys discipline. Big shot for me. And we used to knock glass together at Bamba Mali. And so I think I can just walk off the road and walk into his office now. We're knocking glass no more. The man is a political leader. A government officer. You have to make an appointment. And so, them man turn big shot by. Sometimes we have to reflect on these things. And I smile when I reflect on them because it is the attitude. That man didn't do nothing for nobody. And when you get down to the conversation, you get to realize that the people were saying, that man isn't doing nothing for nobody. Are actually saying that man ain't do nothing for me individually. Because when you look around the society, you see that that man really trying to do things that are going to benefit the entire society and not no one group of people. But some of us prefer our individual benefits rather than our communal benefits. Right? Because individually, we could get minister this or minister that to give you a blind or give you a hustle. Right? Trying to get this thing to work. To give you a hustle, right? And so we ain't care nothing about those who ain't got nothing to get. We don't care that we getting a hustle of $3,000, $5,000, $1 million self. For minister this or minister that. But when we look around the community, it is in shambles. We don't care about that. So when you look and you see in this day and age, 3 years after oil money or 4 years after oil money, and oil money just keep pouring like water in this country right now. And they can't get electricity right. It's wickedness. When you look and you see, again, this is not a source of discussion this morning, but I'm going there for a little bit. Robin is going to come on. We're going to be talking about that refusal of the police and so on to grant her permission and some new developments. When you look and you see something as potable water, water to your homes and housing schemes and so on, up until this day they can't get it right. It got to be wickedness. Because when the coalition was there, and I can tell you from living in Buxton, a Buxtonian standpoint, and I challenge any Buxtonian to tell me otherwise. If I could challenge anybody around the, well, I can't say around the country, I don't think they'd cover it all over. But I challenge you to tell me that I am misinforming or I'm misinformed. The coalition was able to get water to the first floor of everybody's home at a minimum. First floor at a minimum. In case you don't understand first floor and last floor and ground floor, son, usually the first floor is the floor that your upstairs steps lead to. The steps lead to. From downstairs to upstairs is your first floor. So wherever your platform is your first platform, in the air, elevated, that's your first floor. On average, that is about, for the most part, it's about 10, 12 feet up, depending on who your contract is. But let's assume 12 feet. Under the coalition, you were able to get water 12 foot up without having to use a pump. The quality of water. I don't know how to explain it, but it was certainly clearer than what you're seeing nowadays. You could have seen to the bottom of your utensils when you look into the water. Right? But here it is. You got a ruling party, they say a party in government, that got access to billions of US dollars. And they can't get water distribution right. People still have to be buying water, processed distilled water from vehicles driving around the communities, etc. It's pure wickedness. It's selfishness. Let me explain this. I always say this. The PPP has no interest in fixing water distribution in this country. Because the people who have invested in purifying and selling water, for the greater part, are PPP supporters and friends. Don't be surprised to know that members of the PPP government have investments in water distillation. I remember Litco plant in Kingston. Who owns it, man? I wonder. But that's a big water distribution, distillation facility there now. Who owns it? Look around and see where water distillation is taking place for the greater part and who running the business. So it's not that they can't, it's that they won't. They have no interest in. They are simply wicked to the people of this nation. They're fixing electricity. Instead of investing and fixing electricity, they're investing in boardwalk. Boardwalk will aid productivity. Not. They're fixing that. They're fixing water distribution. They are certainly not fixing health care. Because as recent as last evening, I posted on the page. A woman using a screen at the Georgetown Public Hospital, a bed sheet as a screen. She had to tidy a patient or child who is a patient at the hospital. And instead of getting access to a screen, a basic thing as a screen, she had to turn to a sheet. She had to turn to a sheet. She had to throw the sheet over her head and over her daughter's head and body. To tidy the child. I'm going to show you all if you have. They like to ask the evidence. What's the evidence? I'll show you all it. What's the evidence? Yeah, watch. Take a good look. That's the hospital there for you. In 2023, a nation that is producing oil, and oil is not its only resource. You got gold, you got diamond, you got bauxite, you got lumber, you got timber, you got manganese, you got all kinds of things. Basic health care is elusive for the citizens. They can't get access to basic health care of standard. Somebody say incompetent. I say wicked. That is not incompetence. If you are incompetent, you will hire competent people to assist you. But if you are incompetent, or if you use your authority to get rid of competent people, and put in place people who will do your bidding to fill your pocket, then that is wickedness. That is not taking into consideration the need of the citizens. It is not taking into consideration what is good for the citizens. All the money you got, I show you how to thief, because you are going to thief anyhow. But there is still enough to fix these problems in this society. But no, that is not the interest of the PPP. The wicked They alone want all. Listen. You say they're fixing the water distribution and filtration systems because the people in that business look like them for the greater part. Is the friends and cronies. The same is true of the healthcare system. Look on the west side. You see the super health complex that's going up there? It named Sheriff's Hospital. Ask you all already, who is Sheriff? How is the relationship of Sheriff with the PPP? Huh? Y'all talk to me. What is the relationship of the owners of Sheriff and the PPP? Why do you think the people on the west side are experiencing the worst healthcare services right now? Or for the longest while? You know, I could actually project what the PPP is going to do. When the coca door broke at Peters Hall, they left it for several months to keep flooding the people. Because they wanted people to get fed up and become anxious to move. And then they finally move in and tell them, we're going to give you $21 million to your property move. They are causing the people on the west side to get poor health care services. So eventually when Sheriff Hospital open, the people are going to go there for private care. Y'all got to understand this thing. This thing don't happen by mistake. Wicked and dirty. Like the WP and Ogun, Takum Ogun has been saying. If y'all don't fight for nothing, y'all ain't gonna get nothing. It's as simple as that. There must be a fight in this society for Guyanese to get what they rightly deserve. Y'all understand what I'm saying? We have to be prepared to fight. And when I say we have to be prepared to fight for what we rightly deserve, it's not only material things we're fighting for. We got to fight for simple things as our human rights, our freedom of expression, our dignity, fairness and justice. Those are things we have to fight for. Today is International Day Against Racial Discrimination. International Day Against Racial Discrimination. Right? Now, the International Day Against Racial Discrimination came into being following the 1960 murder massacre of anti-apartheid activists in South Africa. It happened on the same day, 21st of March. South Africa, 1960, 21st of March. I think more than 60 activists were murdered at an anti-apartheid rally. And so the UN declared that the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination would be on that day. And so it's a yearly observance. And since Guyana is an apartheid state right now, I think it is apt that people pay close attention to this date in Guyana. And kudos to Robin. She decided that she was going to use the day to highlight, first and foremost, that the people that have charged in Golden Grove for acts of terrorism are not terrorists. And secondly, that racial discrimination is a thing that is present in this society. And so she went about and she submitted the necessary applications. Okay? She submitted the necessary applications. Lo and behold, they were all denied. right? They all denied. The UN is highlighting, listen, that racism just doesn't affect a group of people, but it affects the society as a whole. And it says everybody has a part to play in the fight against this sore. They must speak up against hatred and intolerance and race hate and so on. But interestingly, they've pointed out that the human cost is big. Between 2016 and 2021, over a 5-year period that is, the United States of America lost a total of $172 billion, according to the World Economic Forum, because of racism. Based on racial intolerance, racism, $172 billion were lost to the U.S. economy over a 5-year period. Imagine what it is doing to the Guyanese economy, because professionals are kicked out of their jobs. Well-trained and experienced people are prevented from work. Graduates of universities and so on are not given jobs because of their ethnicity. And the whole host of racial discrimination, the gamut, as we say, can be listed. Look at what they call low-income homes. Look at what is happening in African Guyanese communities in terms of the lack of development, infrastructural development in particular. Can you imagine the amount of money that is lost to African Guyanese villages because of the lack of infrastructure? When you have to spend 4 hours to walk down a road to get home, when you could have gone there in 5 minutes in a taxi, that's a lot of economic time lost. Time is money. When you have to pay double the price a load of sand, for example, because you want to do construction down a road that is terrible, and the truck master buyer could end up in a bad way anytime, you're going to pay double. That is money lost. So the economic cost to African Guyanese communities because of racism, racial discrimination, of course, is tremendous. And to the society as a whole, it's tremendous. Because if there are producers in these communities, their production costs will go up. Consumers will be asked to pay more. I'm just giving you some examples. But it is 8 minutes to the 8 o'clock hour. Robin is here. Good morning, Robin. Welcome. Like Robin dropped asleep on me. Oh, my mic was muted. Good morning, Robin. Welcome. Good morning, Robin. Welcome.
Good morning, my brother. How are you? Good morning, everyone. Trust that you all are having a wonderful day. Good morning. It's a bit the weather out here. It's raining.
It is?
Other than that, I'm good. Yes, it is raining. Showers of blessings.
I'm just thinking that you are highly favored because I have no rain this side.
Hi. Yes, I am.
Yeah,
You're
Robin.
highly favored this way.
So ordinarily we would have been out there
Yes,
assembling
Mr.
at Golden
Cadet.
Grove right now. Preparing to walk to Georgetown.
Yes, I would have been. We would have probably start walking already, you know, but the elements has proven me guilty, and they're trying to sentence me without me being even fully attending court, because I guess they're afraid.
Let's
guess
talk
they are
about this
afraid.
guilty verdict. Why would you say that they found you guilty before you even attended court for trial?
Because of one statement Commander Pajram made to me yesterday, that I had to put a stop to his conversation and leave his office. He made a statement. He started off by saying something that really, I'm not surprised, but something he said to me, if he had any sense, he would not have said what he chose when he thought, but in fact, he thought he was saying something good, but he just didn't know that he was hurting me, and he just made me a little stronger yesterday, and he just opened my eyes a little more, and that's why I am going to really and truly let everybody know what went down, you know, leading up to why I made that statement.
You know, I like mind the business.
You know that,
and you're all business. So tell me what Parshram tell you, girl.
So Parshram made a statement to me yesterday. He said, I'm gonna go right to what he said. He said to me, why you see the last event they had, where it's two parts. No permission was given for what went down on June 28th. So I said, what permission do you need? Do I need to apply for protest? He said no, but the people who left from Golden Grove to venture out into, so I stopped him right there and then. I said, number one, I do not need a permission for protest. And number two, I have no control or had no control over the people who went wherever they went. That is not my problem. My cry was at Golden Grove. So the denial of the letter is based on the fact that permission was not given for the walk that the people who went to Monrepo, permission was not given for that.
Stop.
So it got out of control.
Stop. Let's put you on the right track. The people didn't go to Monrepo. Don't malign people.
This is what I am telling you.
The people didn't go to Monrepo. The people did not go to Monrepo. The people were heading to Georgetown and the police stopped them at Monrepo. And so if Parshram said that to you, let us set the record straight. The people did not leave to go to Monrepo. They were going about their business and the police stopped them. But
I had no control of that.
Very well.
My cry.
You weren't leading anything.
Our cry. Our
go ahead,
cry was at Golden Grove.
Go ahead, Robin.
Our cry was at Golden Grove. I was not responsible for nobody who chose to do whatever or go wherever they wanted to go. We were crying at Golden Grove. That is where the young man came from. That is where we cried. So denying the march on this beautiful day, where we all should have been coming together as one to stand up against the elimination of racial discrimination, he showed me that he is down for whatever is happening in the country right now. He is down with it. He is comfortable with it. So they denied the march.
You know, one of the sad things is, and I keep saying that, a lot of times we end up in these situations because people don't understand their responsibilities. First and foremost, Parshram is not a judge, he's not a magistrate. He can't declare you guilty as charged, and therefore withhold permission from you to exercise your right based on a charge that has not been proven. Right? That's number one. Number two, people can walk, you know. People really don't need to apply for permission to walk. And so since you're saying as the divisional commander, because of what happened several months ago, I'm not going to grant this permission for tomorrow's walk. You're saying that you're incompetent. You're saying I don't have the capacity, I don't think I have the capacity to provide guidance and maintain order while you people are walking. And so, if that is what Parashram is declaring, I think maybe the time has come for Parashram to go home.
Parashram, you know, Mr. Kadaki, I sent in this letter. I took the letter in on the 15th of March. The same act that he quoted at the bottom of my 2 denials, 2 letters, said that I have 48 hours to provide for me to apply. I applied on the 15th of March. They did not call me on the 16th. I went into the Covent police station on the 17th of March. When I got there, the secretary told me to hold on, and I got a meeting with Parashram. I went into the office, and, you know, we started talking. He seemed like a sensible person. He said to me, he said, you know, he started to outline the things I would have to do, you know, on this march. Well, I have to walk 2 abreast. Then he asked, because I did make mention in the letter that we are ready and vigilant to be on the lookout, you know, for anyone who, the elements who will want to use our just cause to create any or so while we are about on our journey. And, you know, and he asked me what means, in what form this march is taken, and all of that. We had a conversation. He said to me that his jurisdiction is up to the arch, going towards, I think that is around Industry.
Yes, it is.
Just before the University of Guyana Road, like we would say UG Road. So his jurisdiction is up to that arch, right? He then said to me, I would need further permission. I'm trying to go the right way, all right? I need further permission from Brigdam to take me to the square of the revolution. All right? Then I found out that I had to get clearance from the main city council's office. So when I left Mr. Parashram's office on Friday the 17th, because he is the one who told me that I need the permission from Brigdam. So I said, okay, I'm going to go look into all of that, and I'm going to come back, right? That's Friday. So obviously it has to be Monday. So I'm going to come back and get everything and let you know what we decide and whatever. So when I got down to town, I wrote a letter for Brigdam, wrote a letter for the main city council office. I went to the main city council office, and then I found out that I needed a letter from the office of the president giving permission for the square of the revolution. Now, at that time, it was already like after 2:30 going on 3. The timing is too short. So I said, you know what? Let's adjust the letter. Adjust, other than coming to the city. He is responsible for up to the arch. So we're going to take the walk within his control, which is Pleasance. That's fine. So I got the letter together yesterday. I went there. Soon as I got to Covent John, guys, I want you all listen to this and help me make sense, because I don't think I am that dumb. I don't have a doctorate. I don't have nothing. I'm just robbing. All right? But logical thinking would tell you that something ain't right. So soon as I got to Covent John yesterday, I was greeted with, you have a letter you have to sign for. So when I opened the letter stated March 17th. Right here. This is the actual day that I went to Cove and John. So this letter was prepared the very day when I went to when I left Cove and John to go down to Brick Dam. Now I asked the question, and I'm gonna ask, had I gotten permission from Brick Dam and the president's office and the mayor and city council office, what would they have said yesterday when I turned up with the permission? Because this letter is from the 17th. I then went on to explain to them that you all did not give me a chance. They did not give me a chance to come back to say, well, this is what happened. Pajram did not give me a chance to sit down and say, well, okay, Brick Dam, the mayor, city council office, the president's office, you know, that proved, no, we would not have gotten the time. All right? So I adjusted my letter, bring the walk to Pleasance, line top. So I gave them the letter. I said, well, this is the adjusted letter for that previous letter there. They called me back about 12 something or after 1, after 2, I think it was, because I had to leave. I can't sit down there and wait because after this letter, I was already getting heated. So I came home and they call and say, the document, I have to come. When I went to Cove and John, this is the letter I got. The second letter denying the march. Then he got the gall to tell me that he quoted, I wish to bring your attention section 5.2 of the Public Act Order 1603 laws of Guyana, and that the timings of this letter and it got to be 48, but it is an adjustment to what is already there. So I'm trying to understand if Mr. Pajram don't have sense, or is it me? Because if it is an adjusted letter, you did not give me an opportunity to explain. Well, Friday would have been too short. I was unaware of the fact that you don't have jurisdiction all the way to where. You sent me, you told me that I have to go to Brick Dam. So how come can you deny me without even giving me an opportunity? To clear the first letter, letting you know that, well, know what? We're going to adjust. We're going to take the march to Sparring to Pleasance, and we're going to follow the guidelines or whatever it is. He did not give me an opportunity. So when he come trying to tell me, but what happened in June 28th, you can't tell me that because I am still in presence. I'm currently in court. I was not sentenced. I'm not proven guilty. I did not send anyone to Pleasant, to wherever they were going. I am not responsible for what happened. I cried. I joined a protest. We all joined a protest for the cry of our son who was killed under your watch. Because I can't remember if he was stationed at John at that time, but the police CID came to this area at the back of my village, Atlington, and gunned down Quindon Bacchus in the scheme in front of a resident's home. He was murdered, and that is what sparked the cry after you all had Christoph on Facebook on open arrest, he commenting, and he having a grand life. Had it been any other person killed another person, that person would have been behind the bars. So just like how Christoph was innocent until he's proven guilty, I am innocent until I am proven guilty. So why am I being victimized? Is it because it's Monrepo? What is it? You can't walk. We're not allowed to walk past Monrepo. So I don't know. But what I know is all this got to stop. This got to stop.
This is the section that Pajram quoted. Section 5, right?
He quoted Section 5.2 of Public Order Act 1603 laws of Guyana.
Any person who desires to hold a public procession other than a funeral procession shall not less than 48 hours previous to the time at which he desires to hold the procession apply. In writing to the Chief Officer of Police for permission to hold the procession, if the Chief Officer of Police grants permission, he shall at the same time order in writing the routes to be followed and the times during which the procession may pass along such routes, and shall give any special orders which he may consider necessary. In relation to such procession, every person who holds or takes part in the procession shall conform to the orders of the Chief Officer of Police. Now the same section that Parashram is quoting says, look, you got at least 48 hours. Give information, give indication to the police in writing. Listen, I intend to hold a procession in the next 48 hours. Right? Following that indication, the police officer will determine whether or not he will grant permission. And once he grants permission, he can give directions as to how this procession is supposed to take place. You said you submitted the application on the 16th?
15th of March.
On the 15th. And the letter you got refusing you...
Yes, on the 15th of March.
The letter you got refusing you permission was dated what date?
The first letter.
Yes. What date?
It's on the 17th.
On the 17th. So he responded to you within 48 hours and tell you ain't getting no permission. But in a conversation, according to what I'm understanding, he said to you verbally, we do not have jurisdiction past the arch. Because East Coast Demerara ends at the arch.
Exactly.
Division C, 4C, their jurisdiction ends at the arch. And so what he said to you is, we do not have jurisdiction past the arch. So if you want to go beyond the arch, you will have to apply to Georgetown for that permission. You're saying you left immediately and you went to Georgetown, but when you found out that to go to Georgetown, your intended place would have been place of the Revolution, Square of the Revolution, you realize the amount of places you had to apply, you would not have had enough time. Am I right?
Yes.
Good. And so in order to not have to go through that and not cancel the march, the procession, whatever they call it, you took a letter to him indicating that you will stop at Pleasance. Am I right?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
What was said to you then?
He said to me that because of the last event that took place, right? It got permission was not given. Those were his words. Permission was not given. So I said to him, permission was not given for what? The people who left Golden Grove. Then I stopped him. I said, do I need permission to protest? He said, no. I said, but that is where we protested at Golden Grove. That is where we were. But I just shut him down and I left because he is trying to get me to admit to something that I don't know about. And you're pinning something on me that I don't know about. So that's why he gave me the permission. And the letter, on the letter, if you read the section, as you just read, apparently it is late. But it is an application adjusting what is already there. So to me, I don't consider that as being late, you know.
No, it's
but
not. Listen.
I don't know.
I deliberately read it because my interpretation is that it's not late. Because he did not respond to quote-unquote a late application. The first application said that you're denied. Right? So the adjustment in terms of distance really doesn't matter anymore. You're denied. You cannot march. You cannot walk. And you cannot walk because of what took place several months ago. In other words, I have found you guilty of participating in what took place several months ago, and I'm holding you responsible for what took place several months ago. before even the court has granted you the opportunity of a trial.
That is why I said that, my brother.
And so, like I said, it's a number of issues we're looking at here. Is it political instruction? Is it incompetence? Is it pure discrimination? These are questions that we must ask. What is important is, are you going to lie, as we said, lie down or roll over, or there are next actions?
We definitely am not lying down and roll over. Mr. Kadaki, Mr. Amsterdam, my darling friend, I'm not going to lay down and roll over. I am not, because I am going at it again. Listen, I'm not going to stop. I am not going to stop. I am not going to stop. I am currently in front of the courts. My brothers are currently in front of the courts. We have a case going on. It's a serious charge. All right? So it's like you're trying to pin something on me that I do not know about. I do not. I was not a part of that. So if you're going to tell me that the people who left, there was no permission for that, that has nothing to do with whatever the people of this country. If the people want to walk, they want to walk. If the people want to go, they want to go. They're not babies, they're adults. I am not going to say the people don't know, Mr. Kadaki. The only reason why, and I'm going to explain to everyone, the only reason why I stand down for today is because my heart is at the square of the revolution. That is where my ancestors, they have a symbol and a monument of my ancestor that fought for the freedom of our people, freedom of this country, for freedom of for black people, that gave every other race the benefit of enjoying freedom in this country. Yes, so that is where my heart truly is. That is where I wanted to go. That is where I wanted to go. Get the drums, beat the drums, sing and talk to God and wake up my ancestors. That is where I really wanted to go. That is where I wanted to go. And that is where I am going to go. This is a learning experience for me. This is a learning experience for me. So I am going to use this opportunity to get to go to the square of the revolution. I'm going to use it to get to go to the square of the revolution.
You know, I like to say this. Somebody, a number of persons, as a matter of fact, asked me this morning if we have failed to get to march to Georgetown. And I am forming my response. There's no failure here. The only people who fail is the PPP and the police. The only people who failed is the PPP and police, because we were anticipating that they were going to show their hand. And on this International Day Against Racial Discrimination, we see how discriminating the state and its agencies can be.
Exactly.
Right? We see how, listen,
exactly.
A clown like Miranda Brown, who always comes here and represent the PPP, is asking if we can control any disorderly crowd. First and foremost, it's a bias. It is a stereotype that when black people march, when black people walk, they become disorderly. Right? Secondly, the police has a responsibility. The police has a job to maintain law and order. They have a job. And if the police is refusing to grant permission for a march, it is saying that we can't do our job. Because across the world, when marches are taking place, police either line the street, accompany the march, provide guidance to the march. is the responsibility of the police. You cannot. You are not to deny me of my right because of your incompetence or even your fears. Because you fearing that this march is going to become uncontrollable. It's none of my business. It perhaps becomes my business, my responsibility. I may have to face the consequences if and when the march becomes uncontrollable. So these stereotypes that Miranda and the likes of Parshram and all of them coming with just is adding to the long list of discriminatory thinking in this society. People got a right to march. People have a right to
yes, because they see everybody, because they see everybody as hungry belly dogs. All Afro-Guyanese are hungry belly dogs. All in fact, all Africans are monkeys. All we're below below the ladder. All Africans, we don't have nothing. We don't want anything. You know, we're not desirous of anything but to be security guard and clean the streets and clean people's homes and, you know, hang around them and talk a little stupidness, and you can get a little 5,000, 2,000, 10,000, couple $1,000 because they feel all Africans need handouts. They feel that they don't have no right thinking Africans in this world. But every race has that. Every race have people who just don't care. They just live their lives. So you're telling me that the people at Bad Settlement that did the destruction, I don't even want to go to Bad Settlement. Let's go to Dr. Cummings' vehicle during that election time, when these set of PPP people, operatives, surrounded her vehicle. Then who are they? Who are they? So it's only African people are not allowed to do certain things. If we were hooligans, the East Indian people that come to Enmore to sell, to come to Golden Grove Market to sell every Saturday and during the week, they could not have gone there. They could not have been there. They could not. Even when Quindon got killed, they were still coming to Golden Grove and sell. And nobody stopped them. Nobody stopped them. Nobody stopped them. And within the pictures that show and the videos and all of that showed that happened at Monrepo, with all of the burning of the fire where the East Indians came out to represent, because they felt as though they were attacked. So they came out to represent. And they did their things. Nobody is being posted as being wanted, but still permission was given to an Indian family to have a wedding right by the public road at the market there at Monrepo on the outskirts of the beyond the white line. So you think that because we want to take a march to stand up for our rights, to let the world know that we are not terrorists, and to stand up against racism, and to stand up against abuse on human rights, or our human rights, abuse on our people, mentally, emotionally, and physically, we are gonna loot. We are gonna touch people's things. I don't need no cassava ball and egg bag and provision. My brothers, the people who are walking, we're not interested in that. What the police has to worry about is finding the people who interfered with the people's things. And they don't seem to care about that. They don't seem to care about the woman who called for the gasoline to burn the van or burn the bus. They don't seem to care about the young man who said, this is how we do it. They don't seem to care about the young man who is calling to have a barbecue and to kill out the black people. They don't seem to care about that. They don't seem to care about the young lady who's talking about poisoning the vegetables. Until today, I am not buying vegetables. I am not buying vegetables because you don't know who to trust. They don't seem to worry about that. What about the minister, the junior minister who stood up in the place of the election there, I think it was at Splashman, and told whoever he was standing with to look at these two black women, these two women who were police officers, who were trying to stop them from going up the step. When we get in position, you know what you got to do. Anybody saying anything about that? The police not looking into those things. The police is not looking into the daily disrespect ordinary black people getting. So you are afraid for a walk. So I'm going to take it that you are afraid. You're afraid of me, and you are afraid of my brothers. You're afraid of the strength that black people have, or Afro-Guyanese have, when we come together. That's what you're afraid of. But not all Africans, as they call us, done thugs. Every race has done thugs. And Brother Kadaki, if you can remember when at Victoria there, when we had the meeting, we saw two East Indian young men walk past, hair slick back, short pants, is spliff in his hand. They walk past normal in Victoria. They couldn't walk past in Victoria if people in Victoria were thugs. So what really is going on? So this got to stop at all costs. This has to stop. It has to stop across the border. And I'm not taking it lie down. I am just pulling in to come forward again, because I am coming forward again. My heart is at the square of the revolution, and that's where it's going to be. That's where my foreparents is.
Thank you very much. We shall not give up. We are determined in spirit, and we shall pursue. Within the confines of the law, the right to march, and march we will. Let me say that to you. I see, sometimes I respond to foolishness because it's an opportunity to teach. Every moment is a teachable moment. The Club Miranda says if they weren't looting and so on, why did a young man have a bale of toilet paper on his cycle? Miranda will say he didn't buy it before. Answer my question. Who said he had not just bought it when the PPP thugs decided to create chaos at Monrepo? Who said so? Miranda, don't drink your hack soup from the PPP and rest yourself. It's 26 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. We got some voice notes. There are plenty of them. I'll start playing them now. Something is not right. Some of you take the PPP pittance to come here and belittle people, thinking that people are not thinkers. But you can't think, that's why you are taking the PPP pittance. First voice note.
Mr. Amsterdam, good morning. First, let me address Mr. Afrad Ali and Jughead Jagdio. This country belongs to y'all. It is enshrined in the Constitution, freedom of assembly, freedom of protest. We in protesting, we want to march to let y'all know what we're going through in this country. And I know it comes from you. It comes from you people to tell the police not to give us permission. But I want y'all to understand, with or without permission, the next time we're going to do it. Because we ain't taking this dictatorship and bullyism no more from y'all people. If y'all got something, y'all could do it as freely as y'all want. But we can't do as we want. We can't do what we want. We're asking permission to do things. And y'all denying us in every angle. Well, gentlemen, I want y'all understand. Table turn. You see how the little statement got all y'all jumping and running and ducking and hiding and talking, all set of trash people coming up from all directions and talking. All right, hold on. You got plenty more to say.
Thank you for that voice note. Call it live, good morning.
Morning, Kadati, morning.
Morning, neighbor.
Morning, neighbor. Morning, how bye? Morning. My sister, blessed love, continue the strength. But I feel that I feel that you cause the police and them for act out that with all due respect. With all due respect. I mean, you go through the way that you think is the right way, and you cause they throw the gun, and they happen for catching it in at it, and they throw down them go and let and that kind of thing, like if they get so much on the right track, because what you should be doing, what you should be doing is not writing, asking them, writing in, telling them, informing them that this is what you're doing. And so when they gave back the reply and said they deny and this and that, you gotta let them know that you didn't ask them that you're going to protest. You was telling them that you're going to protest, because so the law is every man's right to protest. You understand? It's every man's right. And I feel that the next time you're going, this is the method you have to use. Not tell them that set it up like it. Well, you're asking them. And this is how they come. And what happened when the government give you the reason now? You understand? They come up with the most frivolous one. They come in a little late. And it's just like the petition. It's just like the petition, and they happen to get you that they come in late and all them things. So the next time you're going back to tell them that this is what you're doing. This is where you have it. And people like Miranda and them, Kadaki, I really feel that this Miranda is one of Kwame better half, It's one of Kwame better half, or Kwame himself. I think they got the type of Miranda who we might think, going to be so loose and be so foolish with all who really going on. No matter how much pittance you collect him. I don't think you will find the time to collect the pittance and find the time to just sit down and, wait for when the program come on to come and run your BS. I don't think so. But we people, we really got to get up and defend. We really got to defend. I was watching, I just keep close interest in South Africa politics, especially this opposition, one of the opposition party, the EFF. You understand? And you see the march with the shutdown with the you understand? When you look at them kind of thing, it's like you don't have to be the head of state or running the country as a government for make things happen. You could be a powerful opposition too, and you could make things happen. And I feel that is what, with all due respect to the opposition, is me party. With all due respect, there's a part we really lacking. You gotta wait till you reach in the leadership role, reach up there for start acting. You can act right there. And I think the strength needed there, because when the strength starts from there, people like my sister, Robin, and them good able to get good cushion to support them when going through, because she alone could go, because they were thinking that, she got good backings and them too. And with all due respect, we really lack them, and we need some of the same strength. We need some of this strength. Have a good day, and blessings.
Thank you for your
Thank you,
call.
caller. Thank you.
We have more voice notes.
Good morning. Please send me Robin number now. I added, but it misplaced by a change phone.
Yeah, what I want, Robin, your number. Tell you, I must indicate when these things are private voice notes. Y'all gonna say things that people gonna come looking for y'all for. Y'all ain't gonna put me in problems. I'm begging at you. Vice note.
Morning, Kadaki. Morning, viewers. Sister Robin, I applaud your morning, Kadaki. Morning, viewers. Sister Robin, I applaud your bravery. But I don't think Guyanese people are getting it. You can't go to the office or the powers that be that you're protesting against to give you permission to protest against them. I just wish that Guyanese people would get it and come out in numbers. That way you don't need anyone to give you any permission. Just take over the darn streets, period.
Call it live, good morning.
Yes, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to you and all my black brothers and sisters. Keep the fire burning, keep the fire burning. Just how WPA bus PPP pipe, and I'm calling for fire and plumber and best, you keep the fire burning. You know, yesterday I go for call him, but I didn't get time for I didn't let him a call. But I brought what talk yesterday and talk back today. I'm glad he looking about outside news for see where EFF, the opposition leader for South Africa, and he's saying to the police them, don't take part in politics. Your job is to protect the citizens of the country. And he said, we are not coming out here to burn and thief and do all nonsense. We're protesting for a cause for all of us. Thank you, my brother, for looking at that news last night like me. It is time, let me call name. It is time for Abinat and Shay and with WPA and come together with force for get them wicked coolie dog out of Guyana, out of office. Because Guyana belongs to black people. Black people died for God, and it's time for we gain back our dignity. Abinat, that's what start doing what he's doing, and you guys have to sit down and come together. Either you call him or he call you guys. We need that relationship. We need that power to overthrow the PPP. Forget about Ramzatan. Ramzatan is the next pathway for put the PPP them back in power. You don't see them harass Ramzatan. Ramzatan going to board BC, don't carry no meter. He just only come back and tell me what he said. Ramzatan is our biggest enemy in Guyana right now. Ramzatan show them black people in his party and in the bus, and them black people not even acknowledge that. But Flash Garden acknowledge it and were talking. Ramzatan came out and said, left for him, he will stay with the coalition, but, you see the word but, he take out himself. But is the members of the board vote for leave the coalition, and the members of the board, my black brother sister, 95% is black. That is all Koli thinking about every day, is to bring black man against black man and fight against black man and keep us apart. He's using that same guy, man in the ring. It's time for we, black people, go back home to WPA and PNC. My grandmother teach me, who stand for me, I will rap for them. And it's time for we for rapping behind WPA and PNC and start with nonsense all day. Nobody don't love us. They only love our money to get rich. They love our power to kill black man. That's all. Let me go till tomorrow morning. Have a good day, my sister. Keep the fire burning.
Thank you. The one thing I want to tell you, Flash Garden, don't go about calling people coolie dog by.
Yes, I will. I
No,
will.
you
They call me. They call me on the bed. Right from the
yes, I was about to make a point that you don't have to go to the lowest of lows to get your point over. Right?
Listen to me. One more thing. The president's wife, in America, say one thing. When them go low, you go high. No, you have to stay low and fight with them. Why you run away? And my ex-president in America tell me one thing. He said, who is not with me, against me. And if fine print, don't come and ask me for help. Don't come next to me. Don't send nobody for help. And it's time. It is time for Army Natty. Join on with PNs, with the repair. I'm leaving you now. It is time for Army Natty with that nonsense.
How about this, sir? Voice notes coming up.
Good morning, Mr. Kadaki, and good morning to the young lady, Robin. You know what I'm thinking. We need to move past certain things because in this country at this point, these people would never want to give permission to people like us. So, we're Guyanese. We're entitled to protest. Why march? You go out there and voice your opinion. You don't have to ask them for no permission to do that. I thought that is the way she should have gone because you would not get that permission from those people. These people are bent on being what they are and they will never change. You have to do what you have to do in this country. Black people got to stop leaning to any cause. Those people do not respect law. So why must we? You understand? We are human beings. We are not dogs. That whatever they want us to do, we have to do, but they are ignoring the law in this country. Go out there and voice your opinion. Take it wherever it will go. Because this is not a time when you could go to people with understanding or with some kind of a leniency when it comes to people Guyanese as a whole. They look at you as a black man. That's how they look at you. And you're entitled to nothing, not even to use the roads of Guyana. We cannot go that route or else we will never get anywhere. Go out there and stand up and say what we have to say. Thank you.
I do agree with everyone. Yes, go out there and say whatever, go and march, go and protest and all of that. But you see, the thing is, sometimes you have to, for me right now, where I am, knowing that I am in court, I am not going to just, listen, I am going to fight. Nobody can stop that. But all of these things that I have done is also experience. It is also bringing to light what is happening. And I'm reading here from one sister. She said, y'all have to be smart, Matty. Tell Matty and let the people come out. My sister, let me tell you something. The way things are right now between Golden Grove, Hazington, and the Backlist on this side of the East Coast, you don't even know who to trust anymore. You don't even know who to trust anymore. You don't. So you remaining silent and call a brother and say, listen, we're going to do this at that time. And you're going to do that. I can remember one of the days when we were protesting. We said that when they were going to bring Christoph, we were right at the market. And we said when they're going to bring Christoph, we're going to block the road, right? This is what we say. So big confusion. This is just we talking and laughing there. Within 2 minutes, a police officer came. And the people that was surrounding all of us, the people that was there, they're very close to us. very close to us, very, very close to us. And within 2 minutes, a police officer pulled up and looked directly at me, pointed his finger out of the car and said, "You come." This was this action, "You come." So I said, "You not talking to me." So we had a back and forth argument. But then a young man left and went to him. And then he said to the young man, "What plans you all have for when Christoph is coming?" So everybody started to laugh because then is when we really found out that somebody within us was feeding information to the Guyana police force. You understand? So it's a ticklish situation for me because of my position right now. But it's not going to stop me from having that walk. That walk must go on. It will go on. I just have to do things differently.
Let me tell you something. Thanks, Robin. Y'all gotta understand this. Me and my old people parables, they got many ways of choking dog. Right? You have to know to choke a dog. I always say to you, and I'm saying it again, even if it is for the sake of having it in the records, write a complaint, make your application, draw to the eyes of the world that this is what I intend to do and I'm doing it the correct way, or at least as the prescribed way, and these are the hindrances, but I'm determined to do it. Y'all want to talk? Shirley laugh with y'all. Robin, remember when you told me you went to,
yes.
You asked me about making this application, what I said? Apply. It's likely that they will deny it, but you apply. Let them show their hands. Yes. It's simple. They have to show their hands. We know what they are. We have to be thinkers in this battle. We know what they are. Let them show their hands. Now that you see your opponent hand, you gotta know to play against them to win. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that.
This cannot be taken back. I have this.
It's a denial of your rights. She has been pronounced guilty before even the court has tried
before
her.
I was even exactly.
It's an unfair system. It's discriminatory. What does she do?
This is discrimination.
What choices are you leaving her?
Exactly. This is discrimination because Pajram told me where I had to go. And the very day I left, this is the date.
The letter didn't even have the benefit of time. Not even, as they call it, police management, management meeting or anything. I'll tell, when the WPA applied for meetings on the East Coast to start with, all the divisional heads were called to a meeting to decide what they're going to do. I know that. This letter that Robin has there, Pasha must have done a telephone wrong, Robin, if I call it that, to arrive at that decision so quickly. The reality is, you know what you're dealing with. You just have to deal with them in a particular way. The march will happen. And let me tell you, it's actually a week. It is from the 21st to the 26th. Right? This anti-racial discrimination week, actually. So we got time, we could march. And we don't have to march within that time either. Anything affects you, you can march anytime to highlight it. There's so many ways of marching. But we can march. Why you are fretting? Right? Why you are fretting? Don't fret. We got this. But the reality is, we know what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a dictatorship. State agencies are not allowed to function. All of them are taking political action. instructions, including Pershram, all of them. And all, so if you know that you're dealing with politicians in state agencies, then you deal with them as politicians. Good. We got some more voice notes. Call A Live. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, brother, and good morning, Sister Robin. You know,
Good morning.
listening to you guys, and it made me remember 1997 when we had the big protest in Guyana after the election. And so the police, they were out on the street and they were shooting at the people marching and protesting, right? And the crowd was coming down North Road. And my brother, I had a brother that was something in the police. He was carrying the baton. And when he got the information to say shoot, when he looked in the crowd, he saw his sisters, he saw his father, he saw his community people, he saw black people, he saw everybody like himself. And you know what he did? He shoot up in the air. So I'm saying, as you said, there are different ways to deal with the PPP. All right? And Robin, don't be despondent that you get on this that they denied the march today. How is it a better way? You're gonna find a better way in which you're gonna deal with them. And you know what? Continue to call on Zazio about the elements that he talked about. Continue to call upon Zazio. Zazio himself said he's in sympathy with you guys. Call upon him. Do not leave him out. You understand me? He's going. Right? Remember, they are looking at their jobs. So, don't give up. The black people are with you. The Indian people are with you. Some of them can't come out. But Guyanese and all the old are with you. And with the struggle. So don't give up like this, right? Don't give up and continue to work together with the brother. And certainly at the end of the day, we all shall sing all glory, loud, and honor. Because we have to defeat racism. We have to defeat discrimination, and it's gonna happen in Jesus' name. Thank you. That's my contribution.
Amen.
Thank you for your call.
Amen. Amen.
I was about to play a voice note.
Brother Kadaki,
Please explain this to me.
Go ahead, Robin.
somebody saying they're not hearing you?
That's okay. They will hear.
Okay.
Now somebody sent me a Guyana Chronicle headline asking for explanation. Listen, let me get it so y'all could see, man, because you can't make up these things, you know. Some things you just can't make up. There's an Afrocentric man in the PPP government. He said no discrimination will be permitted. Man, listen, sometimes I am very grateful when I see these things.
You people always playing victim.
Call your life, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
I'm calling all the way from the Borbis area. I'd like to compliment that caller that just speak to you. She had done a wonderful speech. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, caller. Turn your eyes to the screen, look at the man singing for soup. No form of discrimination will ever be condoned. Equality, justice, critical components of government's policies, programs. Prime Minister Mark Phillips says. Soup drinker, y'all believe it? Y'all believe this headline? Listen, we big but we are stupid.
Let me tell you something, my brother, about Mark Phillips. We had a crusade at we had a crusade at Golden Grove. Can you hear me, brother?
Yes, I'm listening. We are listening.
We had a crusade at Golden Grove, all in the time of the protest, a day crusade, and Mark Phillips came. Don't worry about that, man. Mr. Phillips has no power in his hands. He doesn't have any power. He cannot do anything. He came to the crusade. You understand me? At that time, I think Ali went to Suriname at that time. He came to the crusade and he took the mic. Everybody give him a chance and everybody started asking questions. And he could not have promised his own people anything. Until today, the women's shop that was destroyed at Golden Grove Market when the police came and they were shooting up, trying to clear the road the day of that protest. Mark Phillips said in his own word, he has to get on to the commissioner of police. I don't remember his name. EXXON. He has to get on to EXXON to find out about these people's shops. And up to a day like today, it took the honors of Simone Brooms to come to Golden Grove to assist a sister whose shop was destroyed. So Mark Phillips has no base. He can only come out and say what he is told to say and go where he is being sent. He is just there as a picture to show that, well, yeah, we got 1 and 2 black people with us. That's it. Mark Phillips, he doesn't have no base. So you all don't worry with him. He can't do nothing for us. He cannot.
Robin.
He cannot do anything.
Robin.
Yes, my brother.
Mark made a promise to you while he was at Golden Grove. Why was that crusade? Right? Mark made a promise to you. He promised that he was going to get social workers to come and do counseling with the residents. Right? He made that promise. I know he made that promise. When I asked him about compensation for the people, he said he can't just compensate people. He got to do an assessment.
Thank you.
The assessment has not been done.
Up to a day like today.
Social workers are not in this country.
No.
Mark
they went to Monrepos.
Mark is a footstool, a doormat.
Yes.
That's what you do.
And I'm sorry for him.
You go out, you come back in, you use a doormat for convenience, you wipe your foot on it.
Exactly.
Why Mark is the one making the statement about discrimination not going to be tolerated? Where's Mark the one that comes to black communities to tell them that he Afrocentric? Huh? Listen. Sometimes I see
he cannot.
I see another PPP clown saying they got 50% black people in the PPP cabinet. And that makes the PPP non-racist.
The 50% black people that is within the PPC cabinet is just there because they are supporters of the PPP. They're not making no rules. They can't do nothing.
They are there simply
they can't do nothing.
To window dress. That's what they are. You buy curtains to window dress. Sometimes you inside the house big, stink and dirty, but you got to have fancy curtain. That is what them black chaps doing in PPP. I have no apologies to that. Voice note.
None. Why they don't take one of them and make them the president or the leader of the PPP party? Why they don't do that?
If Luncheon was as dedicated as he was to the PPP and they refused to give him presidential candidacy, who else they can give? Let's play voice notes, yeah?
So please, I don't believe nothing Mark Phillips says.
Embarking on a journey of civil disobedience. Why is it then that Mr. Pajram could tell us that we cannot hold a march? Now, I would like to know the last concerning these public gatherings and march and everything. Do we have to seek permission to march? I would like to know. Because I can't see how Pajram, who the government planned there, and now you be allowing Pajram to get victory over us. Pajram is
Parsham doesn't have victory.
We are the masses, we are the majority. You understand? We are the right, like Mark Benchcop said last night on David Hines' show. We are the right to let the march go on. Let us have this confrontation. This thing has to be stopped. Why are we allowing the police who are being used by this government? And the police are the minority, we are the majority. If we ask to have a confrontation with the armed forces, let it be now. Let it be now. Why should we continue to be bullied? Now Pajram Walkway, he get victory, and the PP get victory. No, don't give them that victory. We need to stand up to these people, and we need to stand up now.
Alright, let me tell you something, friend. I mean, this voice note was played later than it was sent. So by now you had the explanation. I'm sure the voice note had the explanation by now. I got no victory in this surprise, so I'm not with the PPP.
No, there is no victory.
Call it live. We can hardly hear you. You at work or what, girl? Speak up, please. Oh, it's me, no?
Yeah, I feel that a woman would lead this struggle, because I just want to encourage Robin that he who fights and run away always live to fight another day. And if we're to take a page from Ariane Todman, she was the one. She was a woman, and when she got her freedom, she didn't just hold on to her freedom. She went back and she brought a lot of people to freedom. So in the spirit of her and other ancestors, you keep on fighting, my sister. I am praying for you every day that God would give you the strength. And I know that you're in good hands with Mr. Amsterdam, because he has that energy. And if it's the case that we can't march to the square because that's your desire, maybe we can turn up in our buses and just assemble there, play our drums and do our thing. And when we're done, we march and we go back home. So God be with you. Have a blessed day and keep on fighting. Thank you.
Thank you.
We go march. I said we go march. Don't worry yourself. Mark, no? Mark we talking about. Y'all gotta understand Mark, you know. I'll tell y'all a story that y'all didn't know. When Mark reached the age of retirement from the army, he took his gratuity and he invested it in the gold bush and he lost everything. Y'all figure it out. The man got sing for his supper. He ain't got nothing. I like to tell friends, y'all don't think at 6 and 7 they want to sit down and guard nobody else, you know. That's why I just work hard at this age. Because when you get to a certain age, when you reach retirement and you know grabbing, people just take you for any and everything. Just Mark Phillips. Y'all understand what you're dealing with. When this man been all the time for months, me and about this man, suddenly on Chronicle front page. You know back in time what the front page would have been used for? In the perfect place. Huh? But we want to use the front page, so. That is what Mark is. An ass wiper. 3 minutes past 9 o'clock. I was still got voice notes to play. Robin, you got anything for tell me, girl?
I am having fun today.
I don't know why you think they're winning. They can't win.
No.
Hi, good morning, Kadaki. It was only last evening, I was listening to an interview by attorney at law Alan Dershowitz on this very issue. And he was saying that the government cannot stop you from protesting. Right now, they are preparing for massive protests here in the States with respect to an impending charge against Donald Trump. All that the police is doing is to make sure that they're securing government structures, government buildings, and so on. But they cannot stop you from protesting. The issue I see with Guyana is that as soon as the government or the police tells people something, we just roll over. Everything that the government does needs to be challenged in court. It needs to be challenged in court and let the government pay costs because they are the ones who are infringing on your civil rights.
I totally agree that these things should be challenged in courts. And that is why you want activist lawyers. You don't have a lot of activist lawyers in this country. There's a few of them. The rest of them, since you shape up, you gotta start thinking about planning your transport.
Let's go on with our march. Let's go on.
Right? I got more voice notes, so trying to play them all. Activist lawyers. We need some of those.
Good morning, Kadaki and listeners. In the first place, I believe that Mr. Parsram was given a direct instruction, because if he would have guided you as to what you should do, it was like giving you permission verbally. And then he retracted, right? And like you said, all these instances of the imbalance when it comes to injustice in Guyana and democracy in Guyana is true, right? Now they're talking about terrorism. I reposted on my page this morning the clip with Jack Dio telling the people in Berbice to chase them out. What was that? What was that? I've been searching my page to find the other clip with Nandalal saying that if they got into power, he would make certain people run from Guyana. What was that? You had, I think it was the opposition at the time, which is the sitting government. You had members assaulting police officers in Parliament. What was that? You don't hear them talking about these things because they are very hypocritical. That's what it is, right? And those Guyanese who drinking soup need to wake up. They need to wake up, because if you were to turn a fly on the wall and hear how some of these people refer to us, it is most disgusting and disrespectful. And the minute you have to say anything, you're a hooligan, you're a dog. If we check back on Facebook, even before they were commended into office, I felt that hate on Facebook, with them calling us hungry belly dogs, dunces, and all the rest of it. You know the names. These people are wicked, disrespectful, and they think they can crush black people. But you see what they're asking for? I hope they could fetch whatever happens, because as I said on Dr. Heinz's show a while back, Guyana is a ticking bomb right now.
Thank you for that voice note. I hope they could fetch what they asked them for. Because I know it coming.
And with where Sister Robin is concerned, I ain't got to make no call. Everything going in order. But Sister Robin, don't go to the enemy and beg them for request anything that you desire. Just do what you desire to do and let the enemy come and ask you why you're doing it, and then we can give you explanation why we're doing it. It's simple as that.
We don't need no permission to go at the Square of the Revolution. The Square of the Revolution belongs to us. And we don't need no permission to go there.
I think y'all playing me with trick this morning, you know. Once I start playing voice note, nobody can share voice notes to see it. Oh no, man. Oh. Robin, you see how they trick me?
Hi, Kidaki. Good morning. Good morning, Robin. Good morning, viewers. Robin, hold it up. You're a brave woman. I don't know you have to get permission to walk in Guyana when you're a Guyanese. People from Venezuela all over going to Guyana, Brazil, all over. Do they have to get permission for a walk? Mr. Parsram, stop it. Stop it. Africa, hail Mount Zion. Hail Mount Zion. People's power not got no dictator. And let me address the man one name Nandalal. When you drunk, drop to sleep with a cigarette in the office, and when he done, he no rule out arson. What nonsense is that? What are they going on with? Robin, the next time when you get a march or whatever, get your people them and you go to the Square of the Revolution and beat drums like a ass. Bye.
Good morning, Kadaki and Robin. You know, the PPP realize that Africans are not afraid of them. And the things that they try to do to like keep us, that is a mass used to do, that they keeping you in play, can't work now. This is the 24th century. And every time when we try to do something and the installed regime try to knock us down, the entire world, because of the wonderful age of technology, is seeing all that they are doing. We may say justice is slow to come, but it will come, and it is coming. And if you were to open your eyes and see developments that is happening around you with lots of visits, people, this and that, people are running after Dubai now. People running to different parts of the earth, unknown with their destination. So we still making a thing. Now Kadaki with this water. Let me tell you something. Guyanese like to live in the foreign life in a local body. They say America would buy water. I wonder this might cause the Americans to come down on me. No, because I saw it on the program where they take all those dirty water, or wash clothes, or wash this, and pass it through a set of filtering and recycle it in the community for the purpose of drinking. So they cannot go to taps. They would go to taps, but it's the same water with all them things. They recycle, they clean up, and they use back. Now Guyanese who were accustomed to fetching water from pipe, hunting the people who they buying water, go into those same pipes, dry it to big shine tap, put it into bottles and bring it and sell it to them. They can't sell none to me.
Thank you for that voice note, Rwanda.
Kadaki morning, Robin. Mark Phillips, Juan Egil, Kwame Shah, all of them. They are just house slaves, eyes of theirs, and they see it not because they cannot say anything. The PPP party is a mafia. Anyway, when we, the black people, protest, they call us thugs and all kind of hungry belly. We don't want work, we want thief, we want this, we want that. Anyway, when the president, now president, was seen with his thugs trying to turn over Minister Cummings' vehicle, what they call them? They are not thugs. They are the thugs. They are the terrorists. When the people of Bad Settlement chopping up them people, chopping up the police them, and running the police that foot metal run. They didn't have time for thing. They didn't. Why didn't shoot pellet when did they go? They go unarmed and they're running for their life. I watch a live with them beating up a policewoman and is in the to around and rescue that policewoman. They broke up the North car. When the people at Albion Estate time, when they did protesting, they block the road, they burn the road, they do everything what I want to do. And they are not called thugs. You know, a day when I comment on it, that right is right and wrong is wrong. Let me tell you, the things that the PPP are doing is not right to black people. After when y'all does that doing what y'all want to do, y'all have a just cause, and we are thugs. You know what the girl, one of the girl responded, said, "Oh, they were fighting for democracy because the election was stolen." I said, y'all are so stupid and gullible that whatever Barrett spill out of his mouth is gospel, is Bible. So we don't have to think. Sister Robin, continue your good works. I'm trying to follow you on your page. I can't even make a comment because I don't know what happened, but I can't follow you. I can't comment on your page, and I can't get in like that. Anyway, Kadaki, we got to do what we got to do. Come out on the road, stand up and protest. That's it. If it's in front of Grove and all, yeah, stand up and protest. That's it. You don't ask for no more letter. Or if not, you go and ask for the letter to Georgetown, and everybody bank up at the square of the revolution, and they protest there. Because this nonsense, this is total vindictiveness. This is getting to my last nerve. Sometimes I see the things these people do to black people in Guyana. Tears come to my eyes. And I'm not living there, so I could say I don't care less. But what? I have relatives there, and whatever hurt anybody, a black man hurt me. Because the way I see they're treating these people, look how they drag the girl in the mud at Moko. I just follow everything. And anyway, to Mr. Ogunse, for an elderly man, he did better than the president because he stand up and talk for over an hour without not one piece of script, and he wasn't stuttering to call words. Kudos to him. Thank you.
Thank you for that voice note.
Yeah, morning, Kams and viewers. I asked that person, the 50% African MP in the PPP, let me ask all the whole 50% of them, which one of them did for in their portfolio, in their ministry, which one of them did great thing for black people, or in the whole ministry, and see the areas where they did things good for. You see the difference again. So I don't know, crap the person commenting.
Bless good morning to one and all. I think everyone should, from all walks of life, from all over Guyana, especially the ones closer to Georgetown, East Bank, East Coast, West Bank, I think we should just decide to get up and say, you know what, we're going to take a walk to Georgetown because transportation is too expensive. There's no buses available, and the buses that are available, they're too expensive. So we have to walk. That is our reason for walking right about now. So we walk to Georgetown, and that if they come to us, that's the situation. If the police try to stop us, tell them to get us some transportation to reach to Georgetown. We don't have money to catch a bus to go to Georgetown. We walk it. So that's our story. We walk into Georgetown.
Good morning, Kadaki. If Guyana had terrorists, as this man is claiming, you think he could have gone dancing and whining and making himself a mockery to black people among them? But he knows that he takes his eyes on past black people. That's why he's doing them what he's doing to them. And yet going among them because he knows they're stupid. You understand me? One of these days, you know, he's going to be in a quiet place and he's going to hear a sound. Clack, clack. And that will be history. Regardless of how much guard and security a man has, he cannot prevent what is to come. Never. Bye.
Thank you for that voice note. With that said, I got one more to play, and then Robin, we will talk and we will make our closing remarks. And I had to put my anyhow. Voice note.
Good morning, my brother. I love y'all work. Y'all keep it up. We have to fight. We have to fight for our country and our rights.
Thank you very much. Robin, it's night. Wow, it's 19 past the 9 o'clock hour. Your closing remarks is?
Listen, I just want to let everybody know that this little setback, it's just a setback. We are having the march, but I don't want people to come on and say, do the march, let the march. I need to know that people are going to stand by us when we do the march. Not, people have a tendency of shouting, yeah, do the thing, march, protest, this, and when time comes and you turn out there to do what you have to do, it's 5 and 6 and 7 persons carrying the pace and power. So when we are ready to go again, because like I said, this is just a setback for me to actually see. God has just shown me who I'm dealing with, how close the elements are. So this is just a setback, my brothers and sisters. We are marching, but I want to know, and I want people to pledge their support. We want to know that, you know what? We are going to be out there. I cannot say that for my brothers and sisters who are abroad. Fine. But those of you who are in Guyana and you're seeing the truth and you're feeling the truth, when that time comes, we are going to know how much you guys are supporting us. It's easy for people to say that we're going to do it. But when that time comes, we never, it's rare that people would come out. So we've been calling for boots on the ground, and boots on the ground. The time is coming when boots are going to be on the ground. I need to know that people will be there. So we are going. It's just going to be another day, a different day. And time will tell when we are coming out.
New day, new opportunities. Thank you, Robin. Thank you for also tuning in. Let me say to you, it's 21 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour. You all put me under pressure today, man. Thank you for tuning in. Join Dr. Hines tonight for Politics 101. I'm not sure who his guest will be, but we are back here in the morning for Guyanese morning time.
Hold on, Brother Kadaki. Hold on. I'm just looking at your comment here. And somebody by the name of Fixers Guyana. Sorry, I don't like reading comments, but I had to pick this one up. Only low-life, jobless, have time with protests. This and all too shall pass. I'm not going to answer you. But this too, you, whoever you are, you too shall pass. Go on, my brother.
Thank you. When you see I don't respond, it's not worth responding to. Nevertheless, join us tomorrow for another program of Guyanese Morning Time. Join Dr. Hines tonight. The WPA meetings are coming to Ansgrove on Sunday. Meeting starts at 6 o'clock. Come out to the Ansgrove Market Square. We're going to be there to bring you the message. The following Sunday, yes, we're going to be in BV. At the BV Market Square, right? So look out for these meetings, start to organize your communities and come out and hear the message. Ansgrove, we're coming this Sunday, remember, right? We're coming this Sunday, Ansgrove. And while we're at it, if there are any persons who are willing and able to assist in terms of mobilizing for meetings, advertising the meetings, sharing handbills and so on, we welcome your efforts. Hit me up on 622-5933 so we can make arrangements as how to how we can work together to publicize these meetings and so on and so forth. Yesterday I said I need 2 ladders. I need 2 ladders, 2 falling ladders.
Yes, Brother Kadaki, we have one for you.
But you didn't tell me, I don't even know.
Man, so beg for one. Sorry.
It's a folding ladder?
Yes, it's a folding ladder.
I'm coming for you today. Yes. I need 1 falling ladder. I can't always tell you why I need these things, but I can tell you it's to do political work, right? So the ladders are needed. Thank you, Robin. I was just told that there's one there, so yeah, get me another falling ladder now. Good. Thank you very much. We're going to talk. Have a good day. It's our thing. It's the people's station. It's the people's movement. We Gonna bring this government down. Don't worry, they say long time going short time left. Have a good day. Talk to you all later. Goodbye.
Guyana and Guyanese, at home and abroad. Tune in to Guyanese Morning Time, hosted by Kadaki Amsterdam, where the sun always shines. Guyanese Morning Time, the people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. We rise up early morning watching Kams TV, where wisdom and knowledge, yes, it is the key. Exposing corruptions over land and sea, where the wicked politicians they try to trick me. Guyana is a land for everybody. With 6 races should live in harmony. Is one set of people getting aisle money. Is one set of people doing the thievery. Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. This is a program that you all can see, sharing your views and your integrity. Like it, comment and share it all around. Pass it to your neighbor, safe and sound. A sad situation going on in this town. The voice of the people is getting trampled down. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings, which has ordained me to sing. I sing Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. Stop fooling the people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. Stop fooling people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. I say Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again.